Thank you, dear Divine Sisters, for coming today. It's always a pleasure to see you all. And today, it's going to be very interesting. It's all about food, glorious food. You may have heard of that. So for this next 1 hour, we have sisters from New Zealand, India, so it's quite global, and we welcome each one of you. And Australia also is joining us today. So in the rainbow holistic, we always look at like the physical, your emotional, your mental, your intellectual, and then everything is binded together through some sort of spiritual element. The spirituality doesn't need to be not necessarily religion based, but it's got this very beautiful essence through many ways, through the universe, through nature. So we will see all these elements in our circle today. So whenever you think about your life, you can always think about physically, how am I, emotionally, what am I feeling, mentally, how is my routines, intellectually, what am I studying, am I learning something? We should always be a lifelong learner. Are we learning? And then what is our connection with the higher purpose? So all the time reflect in all the areas so that you can live a very fulfilling life. So thank you. Every time you come to the circle, you can feel proud that somewhere your donation has been used in a very useful way. So I try to link the organization that I donate to based on the theme of the month. So this month it's about food. So I found a food bank in New Zealand. So that is where your donation has gone to. So thank you so much. Because of you, there is a divine soul somewhere else who is being fed, and it's a huge blessing. These are all good actions that we do. We don't know what is the result. We don't know. It's okay, but at least we know someone would have blessed us today. So thank you for that contribution that you have given. And thank you. These were all the nature pics I received from the entries that came today. So we have, yeah, I love this one, the reflection. And this is the quotation she had shared, that the radiance of God's glory, man is the image and glory of God. So it's so beautiful how, that that divinity is already inside of us. We're just maybe covered with some clouds, some um, tendencies, but that's okay. The divinity is already inside of us, so we don't need to search anywhere. It's there. We just have to understand how do we remove those unwanted tendencies and get to the divinity. So that was beautiful, and a lot of other beautiful nature pictures, and yeah, and in here New Zealand it's springtime, so we're seeing a lot of flowers and variety of birds, so it's quite beautiful also. um, so best tip, every time you feel, oh, because inside the home it's all man-made furnitures and heater, fan, everything's man-made. So always step out. Every circle, some sort of aspect of our well-being we are looking at. All these previous circle recordings, they're available on my YouTube, so you can always go back, you can reference, and there is also Google Drive that you can go and look at. So every time you want to know more about home care or finance or time management, you can always go to one of those. But today let's focus on enhancing productivity through food. So our divine speaker is Ankita. She's going to tell more about her journey. It's very interesting. So she's talking out of her experience, so of what she has gone through and how she has, she'll tell you her results of what she's done. And the best thing she has told us is you don't need to do any special diets or big heavy workouts. So that is, it's quite wow, is it? Let's learn from her. She's a health coach, so she's also helping a lot of people through her experience on living life, so in a very beautiful and sustaining way. So I'm very much excited, and she'll take you through all the physical, emotional, mental, and intellectually she'll be talking to us on her topic.
So we'll start with our body scanning. Let's understand where we are right now with our body. Is it painful? Is it at peace? Are we comfortable with our body? Not comfortable with our body? Let's actually scan it. Okay. So to go inside our body, it is really important to focus on something. And that something is very genuine, authentic, which is called breath. So let's focus on our breath. Okay. Let's do a deep inhale, exhale, one more, exhale. Let's calm our mind. So, to calm our mind, we will do a quick breathing exercise that is called 555 breathing. So, we will inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then exhale for 5 seconds. Okay? Inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds. Clear? All right, awesome. So, let's start. You can do it at your count, at your pace. One more time. All right, let's scan our body. Let's start with our feet. If you have folded your legs, you can just let it open so that you can feel your feet. So while we are paying attention to a particular part of our body, let's do some movement such that our attention goes there. So let's do with our feet. Wiggle your toes, fingers, soles of the feet, your calf muscles. If you find any tightness, any discomfort, let it be. It will go away as we move forward. But pay attention to how your body feels in this moment. Move upwards, your knees, your thighs, your buttocks. Is it tight? Is it loose? Is it balanced on weight? Your waist, is it tight or is it free? Is there any pain near the tailbone or no pain? You are enjoying your seating posture, your lower back, abdomen, moving upwards through spine, your upper back, your breast, upper chest, and try loosening your body as you move upwards. If you feel that it is heavier, it is tight, try loosening it. Try relaxing your shoulders, your hands, arms, your neck, your ears, Your nose, is it open, both the nostrils? Are you able to breathe comfortably? Your eyes, is it relaxed or do you feel heaviness? Your forehead and your head. Let's relax. Okay. How many of you felt tightness in your upper body? Okay. All right. And how many of you felt tightness more in your lower body? Those people whom I can't see, you can raise your electronic hand if it is that. Okay. Awesome. All right. So we'll do a quick exercise to, relax our upper and lower body. Though it's a 15 minutes whole body exercise, but we will try to do it on a particular body parts in 2 or 3 minutes. Is that okay with all of you? All right. Okay. So let's stand up. Spread our legs with the shoulder distance, not more than that. Just spread your legs with a shoulder distance and spread your hands. I will try to stretch our hands diagonally as much as you can, as much as you feel comfortable with. Come closer. It's a diagonal stretch of your upper body. Okay. Now let's do it horizontally. Okay. Right. Let's do shoulder rotation. 3 rounds each. Other side. Yeah. All right. The neck rotation. 3 times again. Yeah, all right. Let's do it sideways, our neck. The right side, the left side. One more time. Now up and down. Don't jerk your neck. Very slowly and gently. Just move your body. All right. Now let's do the waist. We'll try to spread our legs further so that we are comfortable and we'll rotate our waist. Okay. We'll do 3 rounds. One small, the very first one. Second one bigger. And the third one, the biggest, such that you feel your body moving. Yes, the other side, smallest, bigger, and the biggest. All right, all right. Now we'll do something with our legs, thighs. So it is something like we are crossing something, okay? But we won't be moving. We will be static at one place, and we will be just try to cross something with our leg. So we'll do it 3 times. Okay. The other side, right? On the other leg, crossing something. But see your thighs, your buttock opening up, turning the direction. All right. Awesome. Distance apart. And we will be slowly bending our knees. Try to sit down. And with your hands, just stretch your legs, the thighs, and come in this position. You could see this stretch and the back stretch happening right now. So this hand goes into your thighs such that you're able to stretch and you can be in this position such that you're comfortable, you're not falling here and there, and your lower body is getting stretched. You can be in this position as long as you can up to your comfort. Alright, let's get back. Daily lifestyle, we actually only use some of our body parts. It's mostly the hands and sometimes it's leg. And rest, everything is just static. And when we try to do something for our body, it's actually fast, 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 because we are in a fast-paced life. So this time we actually try to slow it down and break it into the upper and lower body parts so that you can feel what exactly is happening in your body. And I'm glad to hear that it actually made difference. So let's start the session ahead. Um, One of the things that I actually uh, follow is that whatever we do, we say, we act upon is because we believe on something. We believe certain things, and that's why we act certain way. So let's test our belief. Like, how strongly do we believe on something, and how does it impact in our life? Okay, are you ready for a small test? A belief test. All right, awesome. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll fold our hands like this equally. There's no up and down. Okay, and now we will open it and we will have this belief that our right hand is bigger than our left hand. And then we will again fold our hands with that belief and see if there is a change. We will not cheat, but with a belief that our right hand is bigger, we will fold our hands again. And this time, see if there's any difference. Okay? So we go the same way, it's equal distance and everything is same. Now just see if your right hand is bigger or is it at equal distance? Because mine is actually bigger. What about you guys? Right? So that's the power of belief, you know. And every single time we say that particular sentence in our mind, be it consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously, it gets stored in our neural language and it gets firm and firm and firm. So if you have this belief that since we are aging, you know, being unhealthy is just one of the things of getting older. And so no matter what you try to do, it always happens. Okay, I always fall sick. Some fever, some cold, or because I'm aging. And it's true in my house, like my father, basically, he's the perfect example of this particular belief. Like he is like, okay, I am 67 right now and I'm supposed to be sick and diseased, and he is actually sick and diseased. Whereas no matter how much example I give him for the people who are doing very good physically, mentally, healthy in their 83, in their 90s, it doesn't affect him, right? So it is important about what do you say to yourself about your health, about your body every single day. Is it like, okay, it's okay being this way, or it is meant to be this way? Versus it is like, oh, it is, my health is in my hand. Whatever I give to my health, I receive it. Okay. So with that, I would like to start my session. Let's be open, because most of the things that I'm gonna say is somewhere might have been heard by you. So that would make my job easier, because I will be sharing some of the examples, and I will also be sharing some of the scientific reasons, the evolutionary reasons why we are the way we are. Why do we eat the way we are eating? Why do we think the way we are thinking while eating, while approaching food, while approaching our health? So, are you ready? See, enhancing productivity through food. What does it mean actually? Because when we talk about productivity, it is all about being mentally fit, being emotionally fit. Nobody talks about food. Nobody even cares, like, okay, it is the food that plays major role in our productivity. It's like, okay, if you are not productive, that means you are lacking on skills, you are having lots of excuses and reasons, you are not punctual, you are not competent. But the biggest driving force behind our productivity is food, because it drives your emotion, it drives your mental state, and it drives your overall well-being. Okay. In this session, we will be covering about my journey. Obviously, I'm sure you are interested and curious about, like, why am I speaking to you all first of all. So, what has been my journey, and what are the old messages that we are living with when it comes to food, and is it actually helping us, or is it just manipulating and misleading us? Third, where does the energy comes from? What can we do about it? And I will be telling you why am I doing this with all the presentation, why am I helping people in transforming their health, and what is the way forward from here. All right. Okay, so I have just one question from all of you. Like, how many of you feel tired and exhausted by the end of the day? How many of you have some of the uh, cravings, or some of the means or tools, to fight that exhaustion or fight that drainage of energy, be it through coffee, be it through milk, chocolates, tea, some snacky items, anything that would just make you feel good in the moment? How many of you have that with you? Right. And I will tell you why it is that way. Because you would agree, like, whenever you have coffee, whenever you have your snacks, whenever you have your chocolates, whenever you have your tea, it doesn't gives you loads of energy for the complete day. It gives you the energy for a moment, and then it dips again. Is that so? This has been me, like, up until my college time. Like, in my university, I was 21 years and I was underweight. could see my picture over there. I was at 47 kgs. And I had started with severe back pain, chronic pain was there. And it has, the pain has started seeping into my body. And I didn't knew the reason because I was always active, I was always into sports, and I enjoyed eating because I was just young. So that was me. That was the origin, you know. So at 21, I was still underweight, and I was like, okay, I had to do something about it. I have to gain weight. Because I wasn't allowed to donate blood, I wasn't allowed to do much of the heavy activities that I was interested in. So I wanted to gain weight for that purpose. So one of the thing that was very common is like you can eat more of the fatty food such that you can gain weight, because that was the culture that I had grown up in. So what I decided to do is like eat as much as I can, eat as much fatty food as I can. And that time the McDonald's, KFC, it had just came in India, and I was like, okay, everything on my plate, day in day out I was eating burgers, pizza, and everything. And I gained weight. I slowly gained weight. And at that time it didn't matter to me because I was like, I had to gain weight, I had to eat more, I had to eat anything I want, I can eat whenever I want because I have to gain weight. That was the whole belief, that was the whole habit that came into the picture. Because I have to gain weight, what you should do, eat as much as you can, eat whatever you can, whenever you can. And that has the habit that was formed, and it formed at a very conscious level, and later it became very subconscious in my routine, and it became my habit as I aged further. I was this, like, literally at 30 years old I was 74 kgs, and everything was there. I was exhausted, I was irritated, used to get angry every single time, and there was always energy dip, body pains, couldn't sleep at night. Even though you could see me smiling there, but I know deep inside what exactly is happening. Obviously, you have to pose very beautifully, very cheerful in when you're facing camera, but you do know deep inside like what exactly is happening with your body. You cannot lie to yourself. And that was it. My birthday was there, and I was like, I have to do something. Like, I cannot just go like this. Even though I'm able to get up every single day, do my chores, get on with my life, but I feel something is blocking me. Like, I can do so much more, but I'm only doing this much. And a lot of time I just feel exhausted, irritated, angry. And that's how I had actually become. Like, if you had met me in 2020, I was completely a different person, right? And so I was like, okay, let's do something about it. And this wasn't just at 30. I had been gaining weight like ever since I started gaining weight. It was constant for some years, but again, I started gaining weight because of my habit, because of my way of eating, because of my food psychology. And I tried every single thing that people do, going on a diet, doing fasting, going on a workout, attending gym, because this is like available everywhere and it is cheap. Nobody gives you the full information. Everybody says, okay, do your workout, eat less, work out more, you will lose weight. But it just doesn't go consistent every single month. You will do for a week or two, then you will just get frustrated, tired, you'll sit back, oh, and then I cannot do it. Yep. And so I was in that category. And then I started reading a lot about why is it so. And then I came across food psychology. The food psychology tells us why we approach food in a certain way, why we have a craving for certain food, why we can't stop ourselves from eating something, why we keep on eating even when we are full. And the basic underline is because your taste bud is manipulated. It is adulterated by consuming a lot of food manufacturing industry product. It is just not original, because I'll tell you what had happened with me when I changed my food. And it didn't happen with force or willpower, it happened naturally, through a process. And when I attained my natural food taste, I could actually make a difference between how does a natural sugar taste and how does artificial sugar taste. I could understand the sweetness between uh, mango that are of different sweetness. When you are actually having manipulated taste bud, you would actually feel that either mango is not too sweet or it is very sweet. But you can't figure out the differences between, okay, is it mild or is it too much or is it too less. And I used to get it in every single thing. Like, tomato sauce wasn't tasting good after my taste bud got changed. Like the ketchup that we buy from the food market. I was like, what am I eating? It is not even a tomato, right? So that sense you get into yourself when your taste bud changes and you attain your original authentic taste bud. And how we can do that, I will share some of it through this session, but you can know more about it by contacting me one to one and by following me over my social media. Rajlaxmi will be sharing you the details after the presentation. So I was gaining a lot of knowledge about food psychology. I was getting a lot more information about how our behavior shapes around food. Like one of my behavior I just told you recently. Like I was eating anything. I cannot control my eating because I had to gain weight. But I had already gained weight. Now what? My habit didn't change. It just remained the same. So the messaging needs to be changed. I was still living in that old message. I have to gain weight. I have to gain weight. But how much weight do I have to gain? Where do I have to stop? Because I was 74 kgs. I was still gaining more weight with that particular habit. And I just couldn't change my habit because it was so, you know, it just got so ingrained in me. And hence, I went into lot of programs, and one of the program that actually helped me was WildFit. And on top of it, I also got much more wiser with my process of transformation, and by implementing all these practices and tools that I got on the way. And this is me after applying all those things. The next year, can you see the difference? There was no pain. Like it just disappeared somehow, somewhere. I had good energy throughout the day. I used to have severe dry skin, like extensive dry skin. Like I used to get cuts on my skin on its own. But that got healed because my food was different now. My body was healed, and hence I had improved glowing skin. Okay. So shall we move next? How many of you want to reach that state where you are having constant energy and younger version of you, right? your biological age is less than your chronological age, even though you are celebrating your 40th birthday, but you look like just 30, right? Because that's how your body is aging. It is aging at a very slow pace. Even your chronological number is 40, 45, 50, 56. Okay. So let's see what is the old messaging that we are leaving with. Eating mindlessly. Now, everybody says like eat mindfully, but how did we get on this particular habit of eating mindlessly? Where does it come from? It comes from our ancestry, how we have evolved. Like, so if we go back into our ancestral time, we were living outside in the jungle, like, and there was a fear of like being hunted down by the animals. So even we were, so every time we used to sit for eating food, we were on a lookout that are we safe. So we are eating food, but we are not mindful of what we are eating because our mind is on a lookout for are we safe, and hence we have always been distracted while we are eating. We never pay attention what we are eating, how much we are eating. But in those days, whatever we were eating, it was limited. It was natural. But nowadays, what we are eating, it is not natural. So we need to be mindful of what we are eating. Okay, so we have to let go of that old messaging because we are safe. We are living inside a building. We are living in a safest era of the evolution, right? Nobody's coming to hunt us down. So we are safe. Our survival is taken care of. Now, what we are eating, we need to be mindful of. So we need to let go of that old messaging that, oh, I have to look out for my survival. I'm not safe. So keep on looking out while you are eating because your mind is working on that particular old messaging. Okay. So let's get that back into our system that I am safe. Let's be mindful of what I am eating because what I am eating right now is definitely not natural. It's definitely not uh, raw in its pure form. It's processed, it's adulterated. So let's pay attention. Let's break this habit of eating mindlessly and pay attention. If you just start with something like, okay, for as soon as I put my first bite in my mouth, let's be mindful of how is it tasting. And for most of you, it would taste extremely yummy because you were hungry. Okay, so when you are hungry, your body just needs food because it wants to survive itself. So the first bite is always gonna be yummy if it is of your choice, if it is your favorite. But pay attention to how it actually makes you feel after some time. Because here's the thing, how many of you had pizza or have pizza every single day or every week? Or a burger? Any fried items? Cake? Let's go on a cake. Cake. How many of you have like chocolates? Cake and chocolates is like one of the things that we. So, how many of you agree that it feels really good? It feels really good when you have it. But how many of you would also agree that it changes? Yeah, your body feels very different after some time after having chocolate or cake. Have you also noticed that after eating chocolate or a cake, even though it feels very good the first time you have eaten it or in the moment you are eating it, but after some time, like say 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 1 hour, you feel very different in your body? Yes, it happens because now you are actually noticing the body is giving you the signal. Like after having a cake, I actually feel uh, very heavy. For some of you, it might be very acidic. For some of you, it might be like your energy has gone down. For some of you, if you have eaten something like pizza, cake, or some very heavy item like parathas and all those things, you would feel that your energy has gone down, even though it's your favorite. Right? So that's what actually happens. Our body gives us the signal that even though you have eaten this, this is how I am feeling. So when you are paying attention, you will get to notice all these signals, all these messages, all these information that is being sent by your body. Okay. All right. Next message is eat as much as you can. The thing is, like in our ancestral time, there was scarcity of food. So whichever food we used to get, we used to make sure that we finish it off as soon as possible because we didn't know that tomorrow it will be available or not, and hence we used to eat as much as we can because our survival was in danger, right? And that's how we have continued our habits even in today's time. Like we eat as much as we can, but right now everything is available 24/7. There's no scarcity of food, right? So this is the new message. There's no scarcity of food. You don't have to eat as much as you can in one go. Nothing is getting over, right? And then there was sweet craving. That also came in because of the seasons. Because in our ancestral times, there were seasons. Even now, there are seasons, but now we get food 365 days a year. So we actually don't get to know which season are we living in. But in ancestral times, the food was only available in particular season. So if it is the fruit, it will only be available in particular season. It won't you won't get to have fruits 365 days a year. And whenever we used to have fruits, because since it was limited in nature, we used to have a craving for it. We used to ensure that we eat it as much as we can. And we used to develop cravings because it actually triggers our hunger, and we find the tendency to eat more and more and more. But then nature would enforce itself because in the next season you will not find it. So by default, you will have to stop your sweet eatings. But nowadays, what is happening? Everything is available, there is no nature in force, so we are eating it whenever we can because it is easily accessible, it is very easily available, right? So the messaging needs to be changed. The next thing is survival mindset. Everything was there for the survival in our ancestral time. Everything that we did was for the survival. Even if we were stressed, our body used to hold fat storage. It used to hold fat because it used to seem that okay, there's a danger, the food will not be there next day, so just hold on to the fat. Do not release the fat, and that way you would put on the weight because it knew in the winter there will not be any food available. So just keep holding on to the fat. Do not release the fat. And that's why people were bulky in certain seasons. And that is the messaging even in today's date. The fat that we are holding on to is because of the messaging that our survival is in danger. There's the stress that we get, the brain perceives it as a danger. Doesn't matter small or big stress. It just feels that okay, you're stressed, that means you are not safe. You're not safe means survival is at cost. Survival is at cost means fat needs to be whole. Fat needs to be whole means you have to remain fat. So this is the whole streamlined messaging that our body actually works on. So if we have to release fat, we have to first ensure that our survival is not in danger. Once our body receives that message, then it feels that okay, it is okay to release the fat that I have stored on. All right. So that's what is survival equals fat storage. So these are the old messaging. It hasn't come just like that. There is certain evolutionary process that has helped our body reach that space. How many of you are feeling wow in this moment? Where are all these information new to you, or have you already been knowing about this? When I got to know this, I was mind blown. My goodness, is that really so? Because if you get to know all this small information, you now know the hack to reverse it. Okay. So what can we do about it? Is right now we discussed like we can pay attention to what we eat and how do we eat. So how do we eat is about just the cravings that we decide, like how we are manipulating ourselves so that we get to know, okay, this is the way I'm reaching out to this particular food. So if I know that this is the way, I can break that way, I can interrupt that way. All right. So attention to what we eat. So when we are eating outside, it feels like okay, we are here to chillax, have fun, enjoy the moment. So these are the reasons when we are eating outside. We don't have to worry too much about okay, we have to cook or do this. We just order, relax, wait for the food, and it comes. Now, what exactly happens when you're waiting for the food? How many of you also get this complimentary snacking item before the food that you just keep on eating? And there's a way that you feel like, okay, if I eat this, I will be full. But no, it doesn't make you feel full. It just interrupts your taste bud. It just further adulterates your taste bud to crave more food. Most of the items that you have ordered, it had sugar in it. And they put sugar on purpose in your food because it will tend to make you eat more. It will tend to make you feel more hungry because sugar triggers the hunger. Okay. And that's why even if you look on any food from the food manufacturing industry, read its label, the ingredient list, you will find sugar on the number one or number two list. And now they have actually become wiser. So they have actually renamed the sugar with some other name, such that people doesn't feel that okay they are eating sugar, but they would now rewrite it as coconut sugar, palm sugar, glucose. So it is sugar, but they have renamed into something else, such that your mind is looking for sugar, but since you cannot find sugar, you are purchasing it. Okay, but at the end, it is just triggering your hunger, and it is making you eat more, buy more. Okay. There was one of the posts that I had shared on my social media. There was uh, if you buy 1 kg of Chyawanprash, I hope you all know what Chyawanprash is. If you buy 1 kg of Chyawanprash, you will get 2 kg of sugar free. I was like, what is that? So it is just making you eat more and more sugar. And people love free items. They actually don't care what you're giving them. They just love free items. And in India, since we consume a lot of sugar, they feel like, okay, we're getting sugar for free, let's buy it, let's buy that Chyawanprash which also has sugar in it, and then we are getting sugar on top of it free as 2 kg. So be aware of all these tactics by the food manufacturing industry. Be mindful of when you are eating outside, you are asking the restaurants about the ingredients that they are putting into that particular recipe, such that you are aware and you know you are choosing the best for your health. Like for me, after all these practices, I have come to like, okay, I'm allergic to dairy. Like I used to love dairy till 2020. Like everything with dairy, I would just hog onto it. But after understanding the messaging from my body, that what it enjoys, what it doesn't enjoys, what reacts on my body, what doesn't react on my body, I got to know that okay, dairy is one of the things that actually reacts with my body. And I used to get a lot of pimples and acne. Earlier, I used to think like pimples and acne are the forms like okay, I used to get because I travel a lot. There are lots of dirt, pollution, and everything, and that's why I'm having all these acne and pimples. But paying attention to my body, I got to know that okay, whenever I eat dairy item, I get acne and pimples. Like suddenly, like if I eat something right now of a dairy, in a in 3 hours, I'll get something on my face. That's how quick your body responds to anything that you eat. Okay. And so I am like very much particular about okay what I am eating. So if I'm ordering something, I'll ask the restaurant, okay, what are the ingredients that you're going to put into? Is there sugar in it? Is there any kind of sauces that has sugar in it or that has milk in it? If it has, don't put it. So that becomes your choice because you are paying your money to them. So if you are taking care of your health, ensure that you are complete aware of what you're putting into your mouth. Okay. Reading labels. Like if you are not ordering, if it is something that is packed, you can see the label. Now there are a lot of packaged food that has lot of names that you cannot even pronounce. They have some E numbers or G numbers that you don't even understand. So obviously the things that you don't understand by default things become that is not consumable. But since it is so salty, it's so sugary, it makes us to eat more because of the sugar in it, because of the degraded quality of salt in it. Right. So read labels. Look for okay, if you are all of us are lactose intolerant, but because we cannot receive the body signals from very quickly or read body signals very quickly, we tend to eat more of dairy products or milk solids or everything. But I would not tell you what to eat or not to eat. I would encourage you to understand what your body is telling you. Because if I tell you that dairy is bad for you, sugar is bad for you, it will come as a offensive thing for you. Like how can you say that? But if you yourself get to know that okay, sweet is the one thing that deprives my energy, that means sugar is a no for me. I should only consume natural sugar. Then that is your choice. That is your well informed choice. If it is dairy, it's like, okay, dairy gives me acidity, or it gives me acne, or it dries my skin. If you receive this information from your body, then it is your informed choice. Okay, it is actually reacting with my body. So one of the very first thing you could actually do is like you know sorting things out in your body. So you can take a break from each of the things that you feel is hampering your body for a small period of time. Say like for a week you can take a break from sugar and see how your body reacts to it. Does it work fine? For the first time it would act like a child. Like definitely it's like it's gonna be that crazy child that who has got something snatched from it, and you're like, why have you taken something from me? I wanted to play with it. So it will go crazy. It will just show all these withdrawal symptoms that will make you give back that item. But hey, no, wait there. That withdrawal symptom is just for some time. If it sees that it is not coming back at all, that withdrawal symptom is going to subside. It's the same with your child. They will throw all the tantrums in the world just to get your attention. But if you know that this particular thing should not be encouraged and you don't pay attention to it, it gets subsided. Have you seen that with your kids, with your children? Yes.
Hmm.
So that actually happens with the food. If you don't encourage it, don't pay attention to it, that withdrawal symptom gets smaller, and smaller. And one day it will vanish. But it takes that time. It it tests your patience. So work with it. Go with that flow. All right. So and how do we eat? You have to pay attention to that. Most of the time we feel very hungry and then we go and eat it. That time what exactly happens is our body just wants food. Doesn't matter what food you give, it doesn't care. Healthy, unhealthy, it just wants food because it feels that your survival is in danger. So give food, protect your survival, get on with it. So never ever go hungry. Never ever go hungry. Because when you are hungry, the rule will be flexible. You will eat anything that comes your way. The very first thing that comes your way. Okay? That time you will not give the logic or the reason, or you should not eat this or you should not eat that. Because it just needs food. Doesn't matter what food you give. So never ever allow yourself to go hungry. Second is never eat when you are extremely hungry. That time you are actually not chewing your food because you're just gulping down on the food. Because your body just wants to feel something inside. It has burned hungry for past so many hours. So be aware of these two extreme cases. Never go hungry, never eat when you are extremely hungry. Have water and that too drink very slowly. Even though you want to drink it faster, drink it very slowly. And then have your food. Okay? Does it make sense now? And the last one I have kept under both the things attention to what we eat and attention to how we eat is eat with seasons. With food available 365 days a year, there are no seasons. We just don't know what food is in what season, right? So, if I have to ask you, if a person has to gain weight, according to your guess, which season would be beneficial for them to gain weight? Just take your wild guess. Summer, definitely summer. And we have winter because now we have adulterated and manipulated winter. Because if we look at the ancestral winter, winter is something where we don't have any food availability. It is time for us to fast. But now, since food are available throughout the day, and winter where we actually want to get cozy and comfortable, and since food are available throughout the year, we can have lot and lot of food, and that's why nowadays winter has become a season where we can gain weight. But winter is actually a season of storing on the weight, is consuming on your hold stored fat. It is one of the what is called uh, pre-match of pre-season to losing weight, because winter is a time where there's no food available or less food available. So your body is working on these stored fats. It is consuming the stored fat in your body, right? Summer is the way to gain weight because you have lots and lots of food available, fruits available. So you gain weight. But with all these global warming, with little information around seasons, little information about around food that are available in the seasons, our cycle of weight gain and weight loss has just gone off the roof. Right? So if you just understand that our body has a cycle of weight loss and weight gain, you lose weight in certain season and you gain weight in certain seasons, and that's actually the body's natural cycle. So summer is the season where we gain weight, summer and fall, and winter and spring are the seasons where we now releasing the weight. Okay, so how do we ensure that we have the season followed even though we don't understand what season we are in locally? So right now I have been vacationing a lot. I have been on a holiday for almost 30 days. So I have been eating a lot of things, like a lot of fruits, a lot of this thing and that thing. Now actually I have put on weight. If you could see my photo from that previous picture to now, I have gained some weight. But I don't have any regrets on it because I have gained weight consciously. I know I am following a certain season, that's why I have gained weight. If I will change my season, I will keep on losing weight. Okay. So, one of the things that we need to take care of losing weight is like when you're eating so much of healthy food, your hunger subsides. And when your hunger subsides, you don't tend to eat more. And if you see my this picture, I was at a calorie deficit. The glow from my face was gone. Even though I was healthy, I was not suffering from any of the disease or pain or anything, but the glow from my face was gone. The healthiness of skin was gone because of the calorie deficit. Because I was eating so much of healthy food that I didn't feel like eating much. So I would just limit myself with one meal a day and that was it. Because I used to be full. I didn't feel like hungry. And so I became like this. And my family was like, what are you doing to yourself? Is this a good way of living life? You don't look good. You don't look smart. Your skin is like very old. It's aging. It doesn't have any glow. And I was like, but I'm doing everything good and healthy. How can this be this? Then I realized, oh, I'm not eating as much as I should because my body requires that much of calorie and I'm not giving that much of calorie. So even though if you're eating nutritious, healthy food, you need to eat as much as your body requires, not less than that. And eating healthy actually subsides your hunger. And when we are feeling less hungry, we don't tend to eat more. And that time we actually need to force ourselves to eat some more. Right? And that's why there comes a time where we need to switch seasons very frequently such that we do not get into calorie deficit. So there's this whole process that body follows. Like even if you're eating nutritionally healthy, rich food, make sure that you're not calorie deficit. So don't go on calorie counting. Like it just doesn't work. Don't go on a diet. Whatever you're eating is a good diet. Just make sure that you're including more healthy, more greens, more nutrition, such that your taste bud changes and you are now eating very genuine food, very authentic food, very organic food. All right. And when you're doing that, you actually gets to know that okay, the energy that we are getting from or we are getting derived from is coming from two sources. One is from food and second one is through rest. When I say rest means you're not eating anything. It's in the fasting mode. And many of you will feel that if you're not eating things, if you're fasting, how will you get energy? I was also from that perception. Like, how will you get energy if you're fasting so much? If you're not eating things, how will you get your energy? But trust me, and I will explain this with an example. How many of you would love puri sabji or paratha sabji or rajma chawal? How many of you feel that okay, after an hour of eating it, you actually feel sleepy? You actually feel very sleepy. Like you just need a bed, you just need to crash down and it's like done. The day is ended. Like I'm done for the day. Yeah? Why is that? Because you have eaten food. Food should give you the energy, but why it has, you know, taken down all your energy? Because with the food that you have eaten is now going through a digestive process. And that digestive process is not consuming lots and lots of energy. And since most of the energy is now going into your digestion or the digestive process, your brain is getting less energy. And if you really look below, brain is the hungriest organ in terms of energy. It really requires a lot of energy to function properly. It accounts up to 20% of your total energy requirements. So if most of the energy is involved in your digestion process, you would feel that okay, you're feeling sleepy here. You are having a brain fog and not able to think properly, right? So food is good, but the food that takes a lot of energy in the digestion process doesn't play a good role in giving you the energy. And that's where the rest comes into the picture. That is taking a rest from a food. So the first day, if you are doing a fasting, like I went on a 3 day fast I was on a water fast, and the very first day was really challenging because it was showing me the withdrawal symptom because it was for the first time I was doing something like that. But by the start of the second day, I was feeling extremely energetic because my body was doing less of its work. It was almost healing and consuming, conserving the energy so that I can use wherever I want it. So rest is also important. So when you're sleeping, a good sound sleep is important because that time your body is repairing things, repairing its cells and everything. And that's where the concept of all these intermittent fasting all comes into the picture. But it will only help you when your diet is good. So here's the thing. If you are having a luxury car, a good luxury car, it's like of 2 crores, and you want to go on a long drive, it has a good quality petrol right now in the fuel tank, and you want to go on a long drive. You have gone on a long drive of 250, 300 kilometers, and now your tank is empty. and you're looking for a petrol station, fuel station, and there is one fuel station that is of a very average quality fuel just right next to you, and there is good premium quality fuel station that is 7 kilometers ahead of you, but your tank is almost empty. Which fuel would you put into your this luxury car? So those who have raised for the premium quality one, why the premium? Even though it's 5 kilometers away from you, why are you choosing good premium quality that is 5 kilometers away?
So we can travel longer.
Yeah.
Maybe we will sustain more,
Hmm.
and we won't destroy whatever good body system we have been given with.
Okay. And even there's this particular concept, like if you are running on a good premium quality, if you put a very cheap average quality fuel in it, it takes a lot of time to get out of that system to again fill your tank with the premium quality, right? So, and that's actually a challenge. So, since it's a luxurious car worth of rupees 2 crore, we are so much cautious about putting a premium quality fuel only. What about our body? Isn't that a luxurious vehicle for ourselves? What are we doing to it? Are we putting a cheap average quality fuel, or are we putting a good premium quality fuel in it? Just because we haven't seen the worth of it, just because we haven't purchased our body, we go by cheap average quality fuel time to time. But once we get sick, once we get to see like how much are we lacking, or how much could we actually do if we were in good health and shape, we then find, okay, giving premium quality is really good, but I just don't know how to reach to that premium quality because it's far. So in today's session, I have actually given you the information, the hacks that you could try and implement on your own and see what changes it brings into your life. Okay, let's move on to the next. The reason why I've been doing this, like after my own major transformation, was because diets and workouts, though it might be the craze, everybody is showing off their images from the workouts and everything on the reels and everything, but it is impossible to continue it. If you take a break from it, it is very hard to get back on it. It just requires lots of willpower and everything, and people just say goodbye to it. Like, I just cannot do it. It was just one time thing. I just cannot go for it again. And second is, every information is half information. They are not backed up with the scientific uh, theory or anything. They are just the information. You either follow them blindly or you just don't take it at all. But any which way, it just doesn't work to the fullest. So I want to ensure that we never have to bring willpower into our health transformation journey, because willpower is something like this, uh, pressing a plastic ball under the swimming pool with all the pressure. So till the time you're applying the pressure, it will stay under the water. But once you remove the pressure, it will just pop up back again. That's with the willpower. And you cannot apply the pressure throughout your lifetime. You will get tired and sick and frustrated and irritated. That's why there has to be a journey that is free of willpower, that you can practice sustainability, that you can flex around. Like right now, I've gained weight. I'm okay with it because I know how I can release these weight. I'm okay to flex around to eat whatever I want to eat. So being a health coach, don't think that okay, I don't have cravings. Oh, I have cravings. I have a lot of cravings. I have cravings for pani puri, and when I have it, I go and eat it. I don't feel guilty about it. So the whole motive is around the food freedom, that you should never feel guilty about eating what you're eating. Plus, you're also okay with not eating it when you don't want to eat it. There's no fear of missing out. So I don't have any fear of missing out. And definitely there's no guilt when I eat certain things. Okay. So that's the state I want all of you to be in, and also thriving with energy, being vital in your health. Right? So what is the way forward? You can move next, Raj. So you can act on today's learning. We have actually shared lots of them. And the consistency is starting on with one practice. Just pick any one. We have shared so many insights. Just pick any one. Get comfortable with it. Because once you are comfortable, you will actually get to know, okay, I am actually able to know what my body is telling me. And hence, from here, I can make this changes. If you want support from my end, you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram. I am with the name Conscious Ankita. Or you can also have a one-on-one call with me. The link is there.
Yeah, for me, so these words that you like intermediate fasting, all this is like you said when you started the presentation, everything you're going to share we already may know, but when you backed it up with why that messaging is, it was like that, which it was meaningful at the olden times, it's no more meaningful, and how much of yeah, manipulation our environment is, it's it gives me even more conscious effort that go natural, because that is the right way of living, and again and
Yeah.
again to be aware, what am I doing, what am I eating, what am I buying. Yeah, so thank you so much, Ankita, for the way you took us in this presentation journey. um,
Thank you. Thank you. So definitely on since we are limited on time, we have so much things to do within 24 hours. We try to make things, you know, okay or comfortable for us when it comes to food. But if we really look into it, uh, we can actually seek support from our own family members. And when we do that, we actually feel that, okay, in that way, we are also sharing that information and making them aware about the food. So it becomes a collaborative effort for a family than you single-handedly doing it. So bringing your family into it, start with something like salad. So salad is one of the things that you could actually store for a week. You can prepare in a large bunch and store in a fridge, and you can consume it on a daily basis. So take those small efforts with the family such that you are not overburdened and only see the choice as buying the outside food.
yeah, so when you mentioned a fruit is available all the seasons, like a mango, which is meant to occur at a particular season, is happening all the time due to like artificial ripening of it, then it, so when they say eat local, that makes sense now, like why do you say that, eat local, and why is it causing sweet cravings all the time. um, yeah, that makes sense. I'm able to connect that old messaging of sweet craving all the time, because that fruit which just used to be occurring at a particular time and you're supposed to eat it more at that particular season is now available all the time, and we're like mango lassi, mango cake, mango this, mango. Yeah.
To understand like where does it come from. Like most of the time what exactly happens with the cravings is, like there are two types of craving. One is that you want to eat something and you just go and eat. Second type of craving is you want to eat a particular thing, hence you would want to make yourself feel in certain way that will trigger to eat you that particular sweet. Like, so for an example, for many of us, like watching Bollywood movies, ice cream is one of the things like we should eat, okay, when we are sad or feeling low. Things that we have come across is like, okay, ice cream is makes me feel good. And so making you feel good means like, okay, you have to not feel good to eat ice cream. Okay, so your body will not try to find ways to not feel good such that you get to eat ice cream. That is the other kind of craving. That is like manipulated craving. You want to eat ice cream, so okay, you know what? I'm not feeling good. Yeah, I'm having a bad day since morning. Let's go out, eat something. Let's eat something good. So that's how you have trained your brain and body. Like, okay, you want to eat ice cream? Okay, let's do this thing. Let's not feel good. Let's bring all kind of negativity that doesn't make you feel good. And then you feel like, okay, now I'm actually not feeling good. I need to feel good. Ice cream is a way to feel good. Let's go and get ice cream. Similarly, in your case, it's like, okay, uh, with food blogging and everything, you got to see lot of new cuisines, lot of new food on the table. And you're like, okay, I have been cooking every single day, and now I want a break. And is it like food is like your go-to thing? Like food makes you happy? Does food make you happy? Like any while cooking and everything, it takes a lot of time. I'm not enjoying. I can have more time when I don't have to cook. You can see the messaging happening at back of your head, and it's like, okay, food makes me happy. Let's order food. It doesn't matter what food. I don't have to cook. I'm relaxed and everything. You're eating food. So that's how the craving has started, even though if it's for the food. So that's why I'm saying there's a craving and then there's a manipulated craving. Your body just try to manipulate you with all the reasonings, with all the talking that you need to eat this. And you need to eat it right now or today because you're feeling this way. Okay. So this is a very important exercise to understand what is making you to eat. Is it actually you are hungry, or is it your ways of body's messaging that is making you eat? And a very quick thing that a quick hack that you can do is like have water, break your thought, talk to someone, walk. Once your mind is away from that particular thinking, from that particular conversation, you will not feel eating that particular thing. Okay. All right.
So thank you so much. We will wrap up. So yes, I have shared the key learnings in the WhatsApp group, and I'm also sharing Ankita's contact details. Please, yeah, just contact her, see what, talk to her about what are your food habits, and let her help you out. I think I can listen to you like the whole day. So beautifully, you've explained with a lot of calmness and a lot of meaning. So thank you. You're
Thank you.
doing an amazing job as a health coach. So if anyone wants that support, please reach out. Just talk to her and figure out what is right for your lifestyle. So in the next maybe 3 to 5 days, we will go on a journey based on what we learned. We don't want to just learn and not implement. So in the circle group, I'll put some posts every day. Simple, simple. It's all about reflection. It's all about awareness. So we'll just have some awareness, and then we'll make use of what she has taught us. So thank you so much. And yeah, we'll end. We usually end with the peace prayer. So may all beings be peaceful and happy. A lot of peace to all of you, to your family, to the world. So thank you so much.